One problem that a lot of people suffer from, and especially if they lift a lot, is neck tightness. And they'll feel a lot of neck tension, usually in their upper traps, sometimes in the side of their neck. Sometimes they'll just feel tightness overall. Usually they don't necessarily feel the right SCM a lot, but it's kind of like it's an unknown killer of your body when that right SCM is overactive, and I talk about it in a lot of different videos, and I'm not really talking about the SCM today. But so one recommendation I always make is when people have upper trap tension or neck tension in particular, is I tell them, besides trying to lay off heavy squats and deadlifts, anything that's going to put your spine into extension, I'm generally squeamish about overhead pressing. And I understand, I used to love overhead pressing. I'll still do it with dumbbells. But overhead pressing, any type of overhead activity on a patterned body is very problematic for a very simple reason. Big dump truck just went by, so I'm just going to continue. The show must go on. So the reason is simple. When people are in an extended posture, and if you've been watching the videos, you know we're stuck in extension. We're trying to get people out of extension, this extended posture. The pelvis is forward on one side or both sides. The ribcage is flared on one side or both sides. So overall, they're extended on one side of the body or on both sides of the body. Lifters are quite often extended on both sides of the body because they do a lot of lifting. They lift, but they lift with their back because they're patterned. In that position, you're going to see a picture. So right here is the picture, and I'm showing you the traps, all right? The upper trap, middle trap, and lower trap, but it's really all one muscle. But they just have different lines of pull. So what I'm showing you, down at the bottom, you see like a light blue circle. That is the attachment site on the spine for those lower traps, all right? And those lower traps travel quite a distance. And the middle traps, it's hard to delineate where the lower trap ends and the middle trap begins, but you know, they're all kind of still, again, they're all kind of one muscle. So those lower and middle traps bring the scapula back and down. And you'll see, so that's where that foundation is. That's where the base of support is for the scapula, because you'll see that the lower traps travel up and the middle traps travel to the side, and the upper traps travel to the side and down. They all attach on the scapula. So the traps are scapular muscles. The lower traps and the middle traps, if you see the blue, the regular dark blue circles, the higher one, that's where the lower trap is inserting. That's where it attaches, as does the middle trap. So on that, that is the spine of the scapula. Now look at the right tricep muscle, the inner, that's the longer head of the tricep, on the inside tricep, not the outside tricep. That also attaches to the scapula. Together, the middle tricep and the lower trap, they both bring that scapula back and down, all right? Back and down. When you are in a extended posture, that scapula becomes disengaged. Oftentimes, it'll start to wing. It often will actually tilt forward because of tight anterior neck muscles, the tight right brachial chain. In the right brachial chain, it comes forward. When it comes forward on a body that's trying to counter-rotate to the left, and it comes forward, you now have a disengaged right tricep and lower trap. Those are no longer holding that scapula into position. So now anytime you raise your arms, they can't engage properly, so the only thing that's going to do it is that upper trap. That upper trap is going to start raising your arms, and you're going to overuse your neck, not just the upper traps, you're going to overuse all the anterior neck muscles that also influence this whole shoulder complex, the whole collarbone, the subclavius, the SCM obviously, the scalenes, anything that raises the right side up is going to get over-engaged because it can't be held down. You've lost your foundation of support. If you can't have foundation of support where that light blue circle is and where the two blue circles are, as you raise your arm, it's just going to rise. The problem is so simple, right? Just work your lower traps. Not so simple. Lower traps and triceps. Theoretically, yes, but this is the thing. It depends, that foundation of the lower trap at the spine that anchors those scapulas into place so you can raise your arms without the scapulas rising up, they depend on the foundation underneath, which is a stable pelvis. The stable pelvis depends on left AFIR, depends on the ability to shift from side to side without compensation, and all that requires sense of the ground. So from the bottom up, you need ground sense to stabilize your pelvis. You need pelvis position to position your rib cage, left ZOA. That stable rib cage, that stable left ZOA will then allow you to stabilize your scapulas in order to use the lower trap and the right tricep to pull those scapulas back and down, or at least keep them there as you raise your arms above your shoulder. Stabilized scapulas allow you to not use your neck. The moment the neck becomes over-engaged to help pull the scapula up, it's just going to get over, and look where the right trap attaches, all the way up at the base of the skull. So it's all here. It's no wonder that so many people, particularly on the right side, feel just tension all throughout their right scapula, all the way up to their head, and suffer headaches. It's pulling on the base of the occiput. You got a bunch of different problems. It's actually not that hard to do something for it in the right position, even at the gym. It's not even like a PRI exercise, even though it's used. You can do tricep pushdowns or pull downs, whatever you want to call it, standing, and you're going to see that picture. It's actually the cover picture of the YouTube video, and you'll see that this gentleman is doing tricep pull downs, push downs, whatever you want to call it, but he is sensing the ground through the arch of his right foot, the heel of the left foot. He is in a posterior pelvic tilt. He's already neutral. He already has some stability in his pelvis. He is in a posterior pelvic tilt. He has a left COA, so he started off with a good exhalation to bring those ribs down, back, and in. He's sensing the left side a little bit more than the right. Scapulas are back and down, and then he's using his tricep. He's doing a tricep push down. In order to teach trunk rotation while the rib cage and the scapulas are secure, so that he does not use his neck. The amount of people who do tricep push downs, pull downs, whatever you want to call them, extensions, with an arched back, you see it, and that's the preferred position to do that exercise at the gym, and it's killing people. All they're doing is using their neck. They're using tricep also, but it's completely unstable. They're just causing more dysfunction, and it's just another one of those exercises that I used to do, and everyone used to do it, and they used to think that having arched back was good, because that looks like, well, it looks cool, and you can look in the mirror and you look good, and your butt sticks out, and if you want people to see your butt, it'll look good in that position. But it's killing you, ungrounding you. You're not going to sense anything properly. Your scapulars are going to be unstable on the rib cage because the rib cage is extended, and now the scapula can't sit on the rib cage in a secure, safe manner. It's a freaking mess. Neck, and when you're neck, I know you're unstable down low and you have no sense of ground, and life will become very difficult very quickly, because you're certainly going to use your neck to breathe at the same time. So you're going to use neck for everything. PRI tries to get your neck to do nothing except look, respond to noises, check behind you, see what you got to do, see where you're going. If the neck is being used for anything else, you're in a pattern, and it can get very nasty for some people when it starts to throw everything off in the cranium as well. So grounding, stable pelvis, left ZOA, shoulder blades back and down, triceps and lower trap to stabilize everything, and life will be a lot better.